It is a day that we're going to really talk about some things that are really important, I know, to you, but important to me as well. And that is a transformed life. Before we start getting into that, I have some announcements for you that I'd like to tell you about. Number one is we have coming up next Friday and Saturday. So the 19th and 20th is the Sound Mind Summit with Dr. Kevin Chapman. It's going to be awesome. You need to go to healingjourneystoday.com and sign up, because when you get to the website, you'll have a pop-up that says, want to sign up for Healing Journey, for the summit, for the Sound Mind Summit. So you want to sign up for that. We are going to talk about all things anxiety, fear, panic, all those things that are literally plaguing your mind, that are stopping your growth, stopping your life, stopping everything in your life because of fear and anxiety. There is a hindrance going on in your life and someone else's life, maybe that that I don't know. So pass that along so that they can also have a chance to come. Now, we are not live streaming it, only because it's just out of purposes of the book that he has written, that Dr. Chapman has written. He cannot do a live, he can't live stream it. So that's just the rules. But we will, but if you come there, you're going to get a lot out of it. So it's both days, 10 to 4, 10 to 4. And I think that it's going to be awesome. So I don't want you to miss it. So please go and register. We need you to register because we only have 80 seats. And after those 80 seats, we don't have anything else. So again, it's fear, anxiety, panic disorders, depression, anything that is trying to mess with your mind, your mental mind, is what we're going to talk about. So hopefully you can come to that. And then we have September. Okay. Oh, wait, before we talk about the conference, Wednesday, which is tomorrow, I am teaching Healing Now. And I am so excited. You have no idea. So I just want you to just listen to this for a second. For years, all I did was watch Healing School at Charis Bible College, because it had every teacher talking about healing. It had worship. It had everything that I needed to help me at that time. And so I watched every episode. Well, who would have known that someday I would be on that broadcast, on that platform, behind that pulpit, if you will, on Andrew Wommack's stage, actually talking about healing. Oh my gosh. That's all I can say. Oh my gosh. Only God would have known something like that was going to happen. I don't even know how else to explain it. But how do you explain that something that you watched and you cried out to, where are you people? Where are you? I need to come there. I need to come. I'm hurting so bad. I'm in so much pain. I'm in such big trouble. And now I'm going to be, for however many years later, 10 years later, I'm going to be teaching on that stage. That's just like God, right? That's amazing. So there's that. That's Pacific, because we do everything in Pacific time. So that's 11 a.m. Pacific time. Starts at 12 Mountain time. You must watch it. And if you don't get to watch it live, you can watch it, later. But I highly recommend watching it live. That's Wednesday, July 10th. Okay. Then we have the River Valley Christian Church, which is going to be awesome. This is September 5th, 6th, and 7th. The 6th and the 7th are you need to come to both days. You have to come to both days. Both days are incredible. But those are for healing specifically. On the 5th, we are doing a youth rally. We've done one other time in Dallas when we first started doing this. It was phenomenal. We want to do it again. We have our whole worship team full of Gen Z who wants to worship and minister to the kids. So that's 7th grade to 12th grade. If you know anybody in the Lake Elmo, Minnesota area, please, we're going to have a sign up on our website after July 19th. So you can go on there and start signing up for that conference. So it's really exciting. So with that in mind, now it's time to talk about, what is going to transform your mind. Number one, we have an incredible woman named Tabitha Bigby Highland. She is one of our people in our congregation. And at New Branch Family Fellowship, that's back in Calabasas, which, by the way, the Kevin Chapman thing is in Calabasas, California. But Tabitha is our Friday guest teacher. She is awesome. You really want to watch. This is her second Friday coming up. You want to watch her teaching. It's awesome. Watched last week too. It was incredible. And we have a journey that's crazy. Crazy. This is someone that I just met just recently who came to me in Colorado. After I met him, I said, "Can I get your testimony on, on broadcast? Like, can I get it? Can I record it?" He said, "Absolutely." So that is Neil Ream. You have to watch his testimony. It's incredible. So that is, well, one of his healings was he was blind for 4.5 years and now he's not. So that's pretty cool. So that is what's going on here at Healing Journeys today. So now let's get down to a transformed life. First, I want to go to our scripture right now as I find it. Remember, it is all about Healing Journeys today and our incredible teachers. And I say incredible teachers. Why? Because they are incredible. These teachers literally donate their time every week, and not just the time of teaching, but the time of doing everything else. They donate it each week to teaching, bringing the word of God to you in their own experience, but and relating it to their own experience. But the main thing is to have you see, like, you're not the only one out there that's had all these sicknesses and diseases. They've had them too. We have Nicole Marbach, who is back now on Thursday evenings. She's awesome. We have tonight is Colleen Iammarino. And Wednesday is we have Esther Samboe. And then Wednesday night, we have Butch and I doing HARTbeat. And we have Monday is Allie Johnson and Cindy Mays. Or I'm sorry, no, Allie. Yeah, Allie is Monday nights. I'm just getting all this, like, make sure I have it all. We have so many teachers and we have so many wonderful things. So you just have to go to the website and check it out. Or just go to our, the YouTube channel that you're watching right now, Healing Journeys Today.com will give you all the information about everything. And I'd like you to sign up for our newsletter, because that's where we can let you know what's happening at Healing Journeys Today at all times. But our teachers, Mike Hoesch, Cindy Mezas. Mike is an incredible teacher. Cindy is an awesome teacher. Jeremiah is an awesome teacher. They all are amazing in their own way. They have their own style in their own way, and they are awesome. We have Javier Macias on Sundays. They are awesome. They want to see you change. They want to see you experience Jesus like they have. Karen Conrad Metcalf, also amazing. Wants to see you set free, healed, and moving on with your life. And that's what we're all about here. Don't you want to move on with your life? Seriously. I know I do. I know I did. Man, I was not going to sit around anymore and allow my life to be stolen from me and to literally just fly by. I have too many wonderful things to do, too many awesome people to meet like you. That's why I love doing the conferences, because I get to in-person conferences. I get to see you. And that's what makes me so happy. So we have Romans, I went too far here. Romans 12:2. And we are going to here. I beseech you. Wow. What does the word beseech mean? I beseech you, brethren. I'm sorry. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. What service is that? Oh, it's your reasonable service. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Think about it. Listen to this. I beseech you. You know what we're going to do right now? We are going to look up in the dictionary here, my biblical dictionary, and we're going to put in here beseech. Let's see if they even have it. Oh, yeah, they do. Okay, here we go. To entreat, to supplicate, to implore, to ask, to pray or pray with urgency. Literally, to implore, to ask, like with urgency, to act with urgency. This is an urgent thing that is being spoken to us right now in Romans 12:1. I beseech you, I'm telling you now, act right now. Don't wait, act now. Therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. That, you know what our reasonable service is? It's to present our body a living sacrifice, holy unto God. Now that means that you're going to have to take all this junk, all this stuff that is literally, it's like from the top of your head that is built up all these years, layers upon layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of emotional stuff, of offenses. You know, offenses are the biggest problem. They've built up all these offenses because people have hurt us. I'm not saying they don't. People have hurt you. People have hurt me. People have hurt us. Who gets out of this life without being hurt? Nobody. Like, I don't know. Then you must not be living. You must be living in a cave somewhere. How do you get out of this lifetime without being hurt? Of course you're going to be hurt. But we've got to make a decision today that unless Jesus himself hurts me, I refuse to be hurt and to be offended. Is it possible for you to feel that way? Is it possible for you to think that way? Could that be? Could you actually do that? Because see, a lot of times the sickness, the disease, the autoimmune stuff happens as a result of all the hurts and the offenses. That's just terrible. But that's what it does. And that's what it's meant to do. So think about it. It's doing it and we are feeding into it. Oh my gosh. Isn't that crazy? Why are we feeding into this stuff? Why are we allowing it? It's like you're almost paying for it. That makes no sense. That I'm doing it, I'm allowing it, and I'm almost like, well, you are paying for it. You're paying for it through many things, through your relationships, through your relationship with Jesus. I mean, that's the biggest one, is your relation with the Lord, that you are holding him responsible for the hurts and the offenses that other people have put into your life. So what would a life look like without being offended? Here's the thing. People are going to be offended, but it's what you do with it after you've been offended. It's what you do with it. And let me tell you, offenses will come. But woes to those who allow those offenses to come into their hearts and live there. It's awful what happens. I was a result of that. The sickness and the condition that I had was a result of it. Please hear me out. And yeah, can you be an offended person your whole life and never get sick? Maybe. But I think some of you that are experiencing chronic illness, was what I had, and even some cancers, I believe, is from that. So it says, and now this is 12:2. This is what I was getting at, but we need to go to 1 first. And do not be conformed to this world. Do not live by what the world's standards are have shown us, have given us to a standard to live by. We don't live by those. Let me just look up now, conformed, because I love this, my little biblical dictionary. Conformed means made to resemble, reduced to a likeness of, that's the description that I'm thinking of. Agreeable to whatever that is. So reduced to a likeness of what the world looks like. Guys, we cannot look like the world. If we look like the world, who wants to be like us? What are we demonstrate? Who are we demonstrating Christ to be if we look like everybody else? And I don't want you to think that like, oh my God, I've got to make all these changes. No, you need to make one change at a time. And that is allowing your heart to be healed by the Lord. And the way that you're allowing your heart to be healed by the Lord is allowing him to love you. Allowing him to love you. Man, allowing him to love you, that's big. because most of the time we don't allow anybody to love us. When we have been hurt and traumatized, sometimes, I mean, that's like the last thing I want is to allow someone to love me. Because if you get in there, if you get into that heart, I don't know what's going to happen. I risk the chance that you might destroy me. Isn't that terrible? So now we've got this hardened heart, and we are not being transformed by the renewing of the mind because we are being conformed to the world and we're stuck. I don't like being stuck. Do you like being stuck? Tell me in the comments. Do you like being stuck? I don't think you do. I don't think that being stuck is something that is that's favorable, that's desirable, that's joyful. No, none of those things. Boy, I'll tell you. What is it? What is it that you can see, that you know that there are things that you need to change? Now, God is not asking you to work for his love. He's not asking you to work for healing. You don't work for healing. You don't work for any of that stuff. You only work on your heart being able to be open to allow the Lord to heal you and to set you free. That's the only work that you need to do. And you know what that work really means? That work is just how the work, if you will, is how do I open up my heart? Lord, show me. And this is how you do it. I'm giving you the answer here. I'm giving you the whole thing. Show me how to open my heart to you. Show me how I can trust you, how I can pick my heart up and place it in your hands and not be afraid to look back and not be afraid to say, like, is he going to hurt me? Did I just put all my eggs in that basket and I don't know what's going to happen now? No. He is the one person you can trust. He is the one that loves you more than anything. He's the one person. Isn't that incredible? The one person you can trust. The one person that loves you more than anything. The one. Boy, this is a process too. Please, I mean, hey, listen, it could take you 30 seconds. It could take you 30 days. It could take you 30 hours. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's when all things collide, like when all things are ready, when you're ready to say enough, no more. The problem is everything is in here. This is where the problem is. This is where everything is getting stopped. It's like the thoughts come in and then we don't grab them. We don't take them to the cross and put them back on the cross and say, no, Jesus paid for this lie. I'm not taking it with me. Jesus paid for that lie. It's not even true. I mean, that, you know, the first thing that the enemy wants to tell you, and that you also want to tell yourself when, you know, let's say you start to see a little bit of breakthrough with healing, the first thing you want to do is say, what if it comes back even more? Why would you say that? Because some person, some well-meaning person in your church tells you that, well, you know, when you start doing things for the Lord, the enemy is going to come back and he's going to come in like a flood and literally sweep you off your feet, knock you on your back. What? Why would someone say that? I'm telling you something. When you follow the Lord, you resist the devil. You resist those things. When you submit to him, you resist anything that the enemy is saying. Why? Because he's the enemy. He's not for you. He is absolutely against you. He is not for you in any way. He is only against you. Can you imagine that the father of lies is the one that we're actually listening to? And it's very subtle because let me say this. It's not like, you know, the enemy comes in with his horns and goes, you know, hey, Julieann, I'm the devil and I'm here to try to, you know, destroy your life. No, that's not going to happen. But I love this because God showed this to me a couple weeks back, and I can find that. So I think it's right here. Is very interesting because this is who the devil is, but for some reason we listen to him. which we should not be doing. Let's see, where is that? Oh, so this is what is talked about in John 8:44, right? When Jesus says to the Pharisees, so I want you to hear this as in Jesus talking about who the Pharisees were, but this is also who the devil is. So, you are the father of the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. Now, these are the desires of the father that he was talking about, because when he was talking to them, he said, you don't know me because you don't know my father. Because if you knew my father, you would know who I am. If you knew my father, you would know who I am. They didn't know his father. So it says here, he's a murderer from the beginning and does not stand in truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own character, for he is a liar and the father of it. That is who the enemy is. He is a liar and the father of it. But we allow those thoughts, and you know when it's not God, because the lies that are being spoken to you are not from God. So when, it's like, I can tell you all these things about how to combat the enemy, right? But you need truth to stand on so that you don't have to, so that when the enemy comes, you can shut it down right away. Oh, no, that's a lie. That's the lie. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Renewing of your mind to what? To the truth. That when he says you're sick, you say, no, I'm healed. That's not true. And honestly, it's just that much. You don't even have to go into and Moses said this, and Jeremiah said, not Jeremiah, Klaas, our teacher, but Jeremiah said this, and who else? Let's see. John said this, and Matthew said that, and Luke said this, and Peter said that. No, honestly, it's just a no. Now, all of those guys, just like all of us on this platform, are giving you information so that you build that foundation up to where when you do say no, all of heaven is with you that says no with it. This is so simple. The gospel is so simple. It is for anybody. It's for children. It's for adults. It's for anybody. It's amazing. Okay, so here we go. We're saying that same thing, Romans 12:2, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. This is where people get really messed up. They think that I've got to prove something. No, but because by the transformation of your mind and because of the renewing the mind, you can prove that it is that he is good and that he is acceptable and he is perfect and that you are doing his will as opposed to your will. People always say all the time, well, they're such a strong-willed person. They're strong-willed, but when they, in their own flesh and their carnal mind, but I am telling you now to be renewed in your spiritual mind. And that is where the word of God comes in, builds you up so that you now say, oh, that's true. All of those things that God has spoken to me that I see in his word is true, because I'm able now to prove the acceptable will of God in my life, because what he says is truth. And that is who I am. This isn't saying that you're trying to prove it to him. This is saying that it's proven now because of your, let's see, that you may prove what is that good, because you're seeing that he is a good father. He accepts you. He loves you. He did anything for you on the cross. Don't forget that part. I did anything and everything for, not me, God did everything for you on that cross. That is incredible. That is incredible. And I know we have this atheistic, thought process in our brains that are telling us, hey, Not going to work this time. You think you're going to have this or that? You know, I heard something the other day that was so upsetting. This woman that I was talking to, I was ministering to at Summer Family Bible Conference, she said that at her church, she had this terrible disease. It was terrible. She showed me pictures of like her holes in her body. And they said that, well, you know, God took care of your salvation, but the healing part, not so sure about. Like, what? The healing part is not been taken care of because you have to work for it or you never get it? Like, I don't even know. What does that mean? That's just terrible. It's awful. But do you see what people live with? Do you see the lies that people are told? Oh, it's okay. Just do anything. Oh, okay. So do anything and cause myself to get into so many situations and problems and maybe even kill myself. But that's okay. You know, grace, it's been covered. No, grace, that's not what grace is. That you can go out and do all these stupid things knowing that it's wrong and that it's going to get you into trouble. That's not grace. That's called stupidity. Do you hear me? That's called stupidity. Don't act that way anymore. Stop doing that. It makes no sense. We have to come to him daily. Father, I love you. I mean, just talk to him. Lord, I love you. And I'm sick of being the Julieann Hartman show. I want to be all about you. I want to think about you. I want to do whatever it is that the Holy Spirit is telling me to do. Meaning like, you know, go here, go there, talk to that person, wear that outfit, eat that food, go to that place, you know, whatever it is. That's fun. This other stuff of depending on my own self day and after day, that's not fun anymore. That's really disturbing. It's not fun. It's trying to be something that I am not at all, ever. No more. There are ways that you can live for Christ. If you choose not to live for Christ, there is no guarantee what's going to happen in your life. You're going to make stupid mistakes. You're going to say stupid things. You're going to do stupid things. You're going to, you know, because why? Because the world that's what they teach. I don't care how long someone has been alive or how long they've been speaking. No one has been around longer than God, and he's on the inside of you. So if you're getting a word from the Lord, that is who I want to hear from. I don't care how long you've been in that position. I don't care how long you've been, you know, the CEO, the owner of that company, you know, the leader in that corporation and all that stuff. No, because there might be ways of doing things with, you know, like different org charts and all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than hearing from the Lord himself on how to run a business and especially how to run your life. But no, I don't want to do that. Well, that's not fun. I won't be able to eat or drink and do all those things that I love to do, you know, or have those orgies that I love doing. Well, let me tell you something. That is just detrimental to your health. You know, there's a lot of sick people walking around and calling themselves Christians, and they're carnal Christians that live by their flesh. And so that's what makes other Christians that are not living that way get all lumped together into one category of those are weird people. We're weird. Why? Why are we weird? The weirdness should be, oh, they think they can heal people. No, the ones that are out, you know, picketing and saying you need to turn or burn and all that stuff. Those are weird Christians. Those are terrible Christians. There's no love there. There's no love. You're not going to get anybody even remotely excited about the Lord or wanting to even talk about him when you say certain things like that. So I don't know what you've been taught. I don't know what you know, but what I am imploring is another beseech, right? I beseech you to do is to get into the word yourself so that you see that these thoughts that you're coming into your head that are trying to sway you and trying to, you know, say evil things to you and get you to believe it and get you to be scared, anxious, panicky, so you won't do any of it because you won't stand up because you're afraid. You see, that's the work of the enemy. That's what's going to hold you back. That's what does it. So refuse it. Say no. Say, I don't care what it says. I'm going to go full circle and talk about like, oh, the healing was in this, the healing was in that, the healing was in this, the healing was in that. That's what we do. We go to all these things. That's my healing. No, that person's my healing. No, that therapy is my healing. No, that drug's my healing. No, that certain, broadcast is my healing. No, there's one healer and his name is Jesus Christ. One. That's it. One. So, but what I don't want you to get caught up in is seeking just the healer, because the Lord is way more than just the healer. Way more than just the healer. And he wants to pour himself, his love out on you. He wants to pour his heart out, pour his love on you on a daily basis. But it actually goes nowhere when you don't like it and you're saying, get away from me. Get away from me. I don't like you. I don't love you. I don't even know who you are. Get away from me. Get away from me. I don't know who you are. Get away from me. The Holy Spirit's trying to talk to you. And I know that that's a hard one at times. We think that it's something else or someone else. But the Lord is trying to tell you right now, as we're sitting here, I love you. I love you. And I would give my son again if I had to, but I don't have to because it's only done once. But he would. He'll do anything for you to reciprocate the love and to start operating under love, living love, literally living love. Man, that would be just awesome. That's how good he is. That's how much he loves you in every part of every way, everything about you. Don't ever think for a minute that he's not in love with you. I just did an interview today about a girl who thought that God hated her. She didn't even know what she did to have him hate her, but that's what she thought. How horrible is that? That you think God hates you. That's just awful. It's the exact opposite. But the world and the enemy will tell you all of this just to get you off track so you will not fulfill the call in your life. You are healed. Most of this, all this stuff, most of it is in your brain. I know that, and I'm not saying that you're like faking it. I'm saying it's in your brain and your body's reacting from it. But 99% of it is in your head. That it maybe even started the cancer. It might have started that autoimmune disease. That's what started it. Was all the stress, all the anxiety, all the fear, all the depression, all of those things that are negative, all of it. That's what starts it. That is what does it. And it's just a progression of day after day, year after year of living in that every single day. And you're wondering why you can't get out. Why you have no abundant joy. Why you're like, what does Ephesians 3:20 even mean? That you'll do exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think. How does that even happen? I've never seen it. I've not even seen anything close to it. I don't believe it. Well, what I love is seeing is believing at times, but you know that we can't live by that, but some people have to in the beginning. So go watch my journeys. All the journeys on Healing Journeys Today on YouTube. Go watch the journeys. It can happen. It can happen. You just need a little bit of help. And I'm here to give you just that little bit of push, right? Just that help. Because why? Because I love you and I want to help you. I want people on this platform to be done and moved on, right? And share all the time. I don't know all your friends. You know your friends more than me. Share the videos. We are all incredible teachers and we are all for somebody in your friend group. So we just thank you for tuning in every week. Thanks for playing with me on, commenting and chatting and stuff. It really means a lot to me. I love you guys so much. And I will see you next time. I'll see you next Tuesday on Healing Journeys Today. So we love you.